Morning, so we're back with the 2003 Jaguar S-Type R, and today I'm finally getting round to replacing the rear gearbox mount. So you may recall from a previous video, I think it may have been the Maintaining S-Type R Part 18, we effected a temporary repair using a section of rubber to try and bolster the support provided by the existing original factory fit rear gearbox mount. The challenge, of course, we had was that the replacement one, URO one, was not a genuine replacement. It was horrific. The vibration and noise was completely inappropriate for a car like this. So that went back and we had to effect a repair on the previous gearbox mount. So today we've been able to get hold of a genuine Jaguar gearbox mount. And here it is. So this is the part number XR849534, apparently made in the United Kingdom, so that makes a change. So there's a few differences I've spotted already with this particular genuine rear gearbox mount. Firstly, the way this section here is it's a different material, and it's also packed in quite differently to the gearbox mount we had previously, so that should make a difference. Also internally, and this probably won't come out too well on camera, but internally the rubber is packed quite differently compared to the previous URO gearbox mount. And best of all, just down here it says Jaguar, so that's going to be worth at least £350, right? But the proof in the pudding will be when we actually fix this up to the gearbox, and whether it actually reduces all the vibration or eliminates all of it. It looks pretty well made, so I'm hoping the investment will be worth it. But let's now focus on getting the car ready so we can actually replace and fit this new gearbox mount. Let me bring you up to speed with what I've done so far. I have the car elevated. Try to get it as level as possible. This driveway is not great because there's many angles and bumps on it, unfortunately, but what I've been able to do is jack up on the weld seam and then get a axle stand under there in the designated rail, chassis rail for that. And then similarly at the back, I've also got axle stand there. We've got another axle stand there, and if we just come around to the front, you can see we've got another axle stand there. So it just makes life a little bit easier if you can try and get the car as level as possible. And then if we come down under here, what that is doing is supporting the gearbox. So what I've actually done is get a large section of hardwood just there and place that under near where the torque converter is and all the way back, making sure I've still got space to undo the rear gearbox mount. But what that does, this large section of wood, this section of hardwood, it just means that I'm not crushing the sump. You should never jack the gearbox up using a trolley jack just on the sump, because it will just cave in. It can't take the weight, so hence I'm using this section of wood. So this should just be under a little bit of tension now, and what it enables me to do is I'll come under the car. You'll see here we've got the gearbox mount frame, and within it we've got the gearbox mount, the rear gearbox mount. Okay, a little bit of orientation. So here's the top of the mount, the securing bolt there, and just down there hopefully you can see the gearbox mount bolt. And if I bring you on the other side, you should be able to see the same on the other side, hopefully. And hopefully that just gives a little bit of orientation as to where everything is. Oh, and also you've got the cradle mounts over there, and also on this side, just here and here. It's a 13mm fitting on this. The other side. There's one. There's two. So now I just need to release the gearbox mount itself. Should be a case of releasing this bolt and that bolt. Okay, one there. Undo that. That's better. There we go. That's got it. That's that one. Let's put that over there safely. Okay, that's the top one out. I think I'm going to have to release the cradle. Better. That's better. There you go. Okay, this should do it. Le voila. So we've got the curvy bit there. Curvy bit sits there. Got ya. So let me just show the old and new side by side. Now the immediate thing that becomes apparent here is the bit of rubber that I spliced in by pushing through a few months back. You can see that compared to this one, the alignment of this is quite different. The rest of it's the same, but it's quite different. The other point to note is that there's a lot of daylight through there where the gearbox rubber mount compounds degraded. I can also see a bit of daylight through here. Around here, not so bad. And then go back onto the new one. No daylight. There's a full membrane around here as well, which is good. So I am hopeful that the new one will do the job. Alright, here comes the new one. So we're just going to make sure got the orientation right. That's better. There we go. Okay, that one. And then this one. Let's get that there. That gives us just about enough wiggle room, I think, to get the these bolts in, hopefully. Right. Now we need to get the transmission bolts in. Okay, that's better. Okay, and the other one. Okay, that's fine. Okay, right. I think we should look to get a bit of tension on the 2 transmission bolts. Okay, let's get a bit more tension on that. Well, this one. Fine. Now I think I'll do the gearbox mount bolts. So we'll start to firm up quite nicely now. Okay, let's tighten up that one. Let's back it off a little bit. Okay, looks fine. Extension socket on. Okay. I think the next step will be to give it a bit of a run in terms of turning the engine over. So what we'll look to do now is remove the supporting piece of wood and then look to start the car up, run through the gears and then we'll just do some final tightening checks, and then the ultimate test will be a bit of a test drive. Okay, so in the S-Type R, still got it elevated on the 4 axle stands. I'm just going to start her up. Okay, so far so good. And then I'll just run her through the gears just to make sure we're okay. Okay, I've got the foot brake applied, not that's going to make any difference. I'm going to put it in reverse. Into neutral. Into drive. Back into neutral. Okay. Let's try and give her some revs, because when we had the previously failing mount in there, around 1600 to 1800 RPM, we found that we had a lot of vibration. Oh wow. I can't feel any vibration. I'm very impressed with this. Nope, can't feel any vibration, which is really, really good news. There's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of vibration at tick over. But what I'll be able to do is I'll tighten up all the bolts just shortly, and then hopefully we should be good. Nice and smooth. Right, let's go out for a test drive. Well, so far I'm extremely impressed with the quality of the rear gearbox mount. Started up, drove out to my favourite section of test road. Very smooth changes, up and down. There's no jolting or anything like that. There used to be a slight jolt moving from first gear to second gear. That's disappeared. Shifting's very smooth. There's no vibration coming from the transmission tunnel, which is excellent news. I'm actually really impressed. I didn't actually think it would make this much of a difference. I thought it might reduce some of the vibration I was experiencing at certain RPMs, but it's so different from the other rear gearbox mount that was supplied, the URO unit. Now, I guess the difference is that the URO unit was about £50. This Jaguar unit, I kid you not, before any discounts, was over £500. Yep, £500. Fortunately, Jaguar Classic Parts have a sale on at the moment, so there's a 20% discount on that. So that brought it down to about 400 and something. But I guess if you're getting into a situation now where it's very limited applicability for a part, then you are going to be paying more for it, right? Because they're just not going to sell loads of rear gearbox mounts for Jaguar S-Type Rs. Let me get past this guy, he's going a bit slow. I know the valves to disappoint this car. The performance is stunning. So anyway, I guess that's the difference, isn't it? You're paying for a limited run part, but the good news is that it is actually made to Jaguar's specification. So all of that research that would have been originally done concerning noise, vibration and harshness, it's all there. It's their blueprint, right? So the dodgy copies,
Yeah, I'd avoid. It's just not good enough. So yes, you are going to be paying a lot of money for a genuine Jaguar classic part, but in this situation with the rear gearbox mount, it's transformational. It's made such a difference. It really has. So I think that's a really successful conclusion on that. I'm going to carry on now with my test drive. I've done the high-speed stuff. Now I'm into more twisty stuff. And so I'll just see how I get on with that. I'm really not expecting any issues now. It's a good shakedown test, this route. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you found some of this useful. I know some of you have been asking about rear gearbox mounts, so there we are, the job's been done. It's a Jaguar genuine Jaguar classic part, rear gearbox mount. They're now available. They are really expensive, but they are really good. So again, thanks very much for watching. If you liked the video, please do give it a bit of a like. And if you're not subscribed and you kind of like this content, do like it, then do think about subscribing. Thanks a lot, until the next one. Bye for now.